Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ericka English from Fox 4. Good day. But it does have a very, very smooth ride. Right now, we have some live video to show you this morning. Hundreds of people are being forced to evacuate near the Santa Cruz Mountains. A fast-moving wildfire is threatening residents there. The blaze began last night around 6 o'clock. But just like any hot babe, it's what's under the hood that counts. And we're going to pop the hood right now. Tuesday's power outages are the result of fallen debris, which is also the case here in front of Maconi's flower shop.
Yeah, here we go.
It's no wonder the company's giving millions of women and some men financial independence and security. Not in these shoes, because they're 2-inch heels.
You can borrow my Chucks if you want.
There you go.
You want my Chucks?
Yeah, I think we're about the same size. And now they say they're grown men and they're out of that stage, but those memories are going to stick around forever. Get this, older workers who can't afford to retire are blocking younger workers from moving up. And I love to crochet, and I know your wife loves handmade things.
Very true.
So I made this for little Candace.
Oh.
This is the pump Beverly says wasn't working when she came to get gas about 2 days ago. But the owner of the store says he hasn't had any other complaints, and the pump has been working ever since.
Give me that paper.
Good help is hard to find. Andrea Velasquez knows this firsthand.
You know, everywhere you call, there's a waiting list, and the waiting list is months long.
Andrea's 4-month-old son, Javi, was in daycare all of 1 week before she pulled him out.
There was no one consistently in there. It was just a bunch of different people.
Now bouncing, playing.
Do you want a toy?
Yep, even changing diapers are all done at her cubicle.
I'm very fortunate, and God has just blessed me with a wonderful employer.
Most parents aren't quite as blessed. Sherry Polian with the Department of Family and Protective Services suggests finding child care the old-fashioned way.
Go by the daycare. We want you to visit the daycare at least twice at different times of the day on different days.
But now there's an easier way to find competent care. The DFPS website will not only tell you what daycares are in your area, but it'll let you know which ones are in good standing with the state.
So just because you see a violation of a daycare of 20 times, that does not mean they're not a good daycare. So you need to look at the site thoroughly.
I logged on to check up on Andrea's former daycare. According to the website, in the past 2 years, the facility has had 14 high-level violations. They include the use of corporal punishment and lack of training in CPR. Andrea hopes her days of pulling double duty are short-lived. Her son is on the waiting list at one of the most highly recommended daycares in town.
I think they're the best of the best.
How long might a parent wait for the best of the best? The waiting list is so long at Redeemer Lutheran Children's Center, you have to put your child's name on the list as soon as they're born. That's if you want a spot by the time your child is 1.5 years.
August 20th of 07.
Claudia Kester is the center's director. She attributes its success to a caring and competent staff.
You have to have a love for children to be able to do this job, because the pay is not, is only a little above minimum wage.
Teachers must have a background in education, but their roots are what counts.
Our teachers are doing God's work, and we do Bible lessons, we do chapel here on Wednesdays, we do worship jam on Fridays, where all of these we're introducing, God and His Word to these children.
That's evident through their students.
For me. I stand alone on the Word of God, and the early Bible.
If everyone that worked here didn't do their job to the best of their ability and didn't have the care and concern and just the children's well-being, first in their mind, we wouldn't be sitting where we are today.
What is the most important book in the whole wide world? The Bible.
Its reputation is one reason that led Andrea to enrolling her now 5-year-old daughter, Kelly.
I like that it's a Christian environment. It's a Christian learning environment. It's set up more like a school rather than just a daycare.
And just ask a lot of questions, because your child is going to be there for 8-10 hours a day. You want to make sure that that daycare is the best option for your child.
The struggle of finding competent care is one that Kester knows personally.
I've had children, and I've interviewed daycare and I didn't leave my child somewhere where I didn't feel comfortable.
Advice Andrea is taking to heart. Ericka English, Fox 4 News. When Walter McCloney lost power at his home Tuesday morning, he hurried to his business.
I got 2 refrigerators running in there with flowers in them, so I don't want to see things go bad.
He's owned this flower shop for 24 years.
I'm only 39.
Yeah. He was hoping his precious inventory would weather Edward.
Carnations, gladiolas, solidago filler, snapdragons. My most concern is the roses. Roses don't last as long.
Walter is one of more than 37,000 customers who reported an outage to Entergy Tuesday, and like many, it's not going to be an easy fix.
But they had a down line, like I said, that caused them to have to disconnect man in order to fix the whole problem.
Most of Tuesday's power outages are the result of fallen debris, which is also the case here in front of McCloney's flower shop. Entergy Texas President Joe Domino says the company has called in more manpower to help get the lights back on for its customers.
I brought in about 2,000 linemen and tree trimmers, we call them vegetation workers, from as far away as Alabama, Oklahoma. And we'll be using those individuals to supplement our workforce to get the restoration of the power back on as quickly as possible.
Which they'll need as the number of customers without power increases as Edward moves into the heart of Texas.
You're watching Fox 4. Good day.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ericka English. Mike has the morning off. Coming up in our first hour, 2 men severely injured when the Dallas Cowboys practice tent gave in are suing the maker of that facility. As you may remember, the Dallas Cowboys were practicing at Valley Ranch back in May when a storm hit. The steel frame structure with a fabric cover collapsed under strong winds, while the victims say it was a disaster waiting to happen. And it's confirmed the late Senator Ted Kennedy will be buried near 2 of his brothers at the Arlington National Cemetery. The late senator had a year-long battle with brain cancer before passing away Tuesday, what makes him eligible for a burial at the site. And cancer has claimed the life of another influential political person, this time in Iraq. Abdul Aziz al-Hakim died after battling lung cancer, how he played a vital role in helping our country. We have a developing story in Beaumont. 2 people are dead after a major accident this morning. East Tex Freeway is shut down near that accident site. It happened around 2 o'clock right there in front of Academy. Right now, both north and southbound lanes are closed, so drivers can't exit Highway 105. Police say 3 motorcyclists from Lumberton were speeding when one of the drivers hit the back of a car. The second tried to avoid the accident and ran into the third. 2 people on motorcycles were killed. The third driver is in serious condition.
Anytime we have a fatality,
In all, there were 3 motorcycles and 2 cars involved in that accident. There were 3 people in the cars, but they suffered no injuries. And another person is dead this morning after a fatal accident. The accident happened around 12:30 this morning off Highway 12 in Vidor. Police say 58-year-old Beverly Wrinkle was driving when she got a flat tire. She lost control of her car and it hit a light pole. She was thrown from the car and the car rolled on top of her. She wasn't wearing her seatbelt. Wrinkle was pronounced dead on the scene. The Beaumont police are looking for 2 men this morning. They're accused of robbing a Little Caesars Pizza. It happened around 9:45 last night at East Tex and Dowling. The men robbed the restaurant at gunpoint. Officers used search dogs to look for those 2 robbers. Family and friends are preparing to say goodbye to Kelly High School senior Ashley LaBeach. That's our first story this segment. The 17-year-old was killed in an accident Saturday night. She was hit head-on by Justin Joubert. He also died in that crash. Services for LaBeach will be at St. Jude's Catholic Church. A mass will be held this afternoon at 3. Her burial will follow at Magnolia Cemetery in Beaumont. We're going to go back to some live pictures we showed you a little bit earlier. Early this morning around 2 o'clock, there was a double fatal accident on East Tex Freeway right in front of Academy, and that's the van that was involved in that accident. 3 motorcyclists were also involved in that crash, and traffic is flowing smoothly. However, some lanes are still blocked off this morning, and police just want us to give you an extra warning. If you're heading that way this morning on East Tex Freeway right in front of Academy, just slow down and acknowledge the caution signs, and we'll definitely bring you more information as we get it this morning. Moving on, the late Senator Ted Kennedy will be buried at the Arlington National Cemetery Saturday. That's our top story this segment. He'll be buried there with two of his brothers, President John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. The late senator had a year-long battle with brain cancer before passing away on Tuesday. His service in the Army during the Korean War and his service to the country in Congress make him eligible for burial at that site. He'll be the third of the Kennedy brothers to receive a funeral with military honors. South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford says he's not resigning. Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer held his own news conference yesterday, calling on his boss to resign. Sanford's troubles began recently after he admitted an affair with a woman from Argentina. Well, as Nick can vouch, temperatures in southeast Texas have been in the 90s for weeks now. So imagine working on top of a roof in that heat.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You don't want to do it.
Oh, and if you are celebrating your birthday today, you celebrate it with Mace Betha. You remember him?
M-A$E.
Yeah, and Mr. Pee Wee Herman. Hey, you want to do it?
Yeah, here we go.
He's 57 years old today.
And he is as creepy as him.
He's as creepy as that dance we just did.
Yes, he is.
Well, here's our YouTube clip of the day. These are the funny commercials they don't show you on TV. But you can always email us your suggestions. Good day at kbtv4.tv, and we will make sure we get your favorite clips on the air. Still to come in our next hour, a local private eye and blogger is taking Google to court. How he says the site defamed his character and invaded his family's privacy. Texas will soon be monitoring people charged in domestic violence cases, the technology that will allow authorities to keep an eye on the suspect. And cancer has claimed the life of another influential political person, this time in Iraq. How he played a vital role in helping our country. Reaching more homes in southeast Texas, you're watching Fox 4 Good Day.